This is a 2009 Hummer H3. In fact, it's my 2009 Hummer H3. It's slow. It's 175,000 miles on it. And it drives like a pig. But I love it. So, starting off with the exterior looks, this paint is called Slate. I haven't actually seen another Hummer in this color yet, which is pretty astonishing because they're all white, they're all red, and they're all yellow and gray. Like I said, I've never seen another one in this color. I really hope I get to. This grill is amazing. I love this grill, and it has this very nice Hummer logo right there. Yes, I know I need to get new lights for it. My lights are fogged over and everything like that. The fog lights don't work very well. Blinkers do work though, very nice. And since this is not a European one, it has these stupid side reflectors on it that make it look terrible. Now, going to these wheels and tires. These are amp ATPs. These are 35 by 12 these are 35 by 12 50R 20 LTs, which are substantially big tires. And these are the rims I chose for it. These are American Outlaw Mavericks, if I can remember correctly. And yes, it's dirty. It's a vehicle that I drive a lot, so you would expect it to be dirty. And all the suspension components on this are new. We had to replace both front and back shocks. We had to replace the suspension arms, the steering arms, and everything like that. It's got a cool little GM logo right there. Pretty nice. And it's got a H3 logo right there, which is very nice. Now, this mirror is actually not original. This is a different mirror because the other one we had was broken whenever we bought the vehicle. And about the mirrors, I don't like them very much. They're very hard to use, and they're below the center line of the window, so part of your mirror is cut off, which doesn't necessarily help whenever you can't see out of this thing and you can't see your blind spot because of this enormous pillar that's right here and this stupid piece that's in the window right here. But otherwise, yeah, it looks good. It looks extremely good. I love the looks of this thing. Now these panels are plastic, so the paint, especially on this one, is really bad. It's like crusty and flaking. Yeah, need to fix that. Like I said, these windows are tiny. It's very hard to see these windows. Going to the back, another Hummer H3 logo, pretty nice. Spare wheel. And opening up the back, this door actually opens out to the side, which is pretty cool. This is where a jack is supposed to go, but I don't have one. It's just, well, gone. Ceased to exist. I have tool bag in here, and then it also has these little cubby spaces for storing like extra tools and stuff in, like boxes, food, groceries. Basically anything that will fit in there you can store in there, which is pretty cool. Also, love these lights back here. These are the only thing that actually works, and there's a third light. Not the only thing that actually works, but these work much better than my front lights do. This is turn signal and brake light. That's reversing light, which is pretty nice. Same thing on the other side. This mirror is original. So yeah, that came on the car factory. This is terrible. This needs to go. This just needs to get out of here. I'm gonna replace that eventually. Going back around to the front again. There's more of the front of this thing. The antenna is still deciding to shake. There it is from far away. Now, the interior, the front of the interior at least, I have the key in my pocket. Let's get in. Now the doors are actually surprisingly light for being well, they're pretty small, but they're pretty light for being metal. So this is your key. This is just a normal General Motors key. My brother has something exactly like this. He has a 2007 Chevrolet Avalanche, which I might do a video on next. But instead of the Chevy logo, it says H3 because this is a GM vehicle. This isn't a Chevy, so of course they would all use the same parts. And this I honestly hate. I don't like this at all. The buttons sometimes get stuck, and it gets stuck locking, and sometimes you can't unlock it. And yeah, it's just, I like this key. I don't like this fob. Now starting it up. Now this is a 3.7 liter. I think 3.7 liter, 260 horsepower 5-cylinder. I wanted a V8 one, but it's like double or triple the price of what we paid for this for a V8 one. So yeah, not happening. And this has the 4-speed automatic. I wanted a manual, but the problem is that piece of something right there. But the problem is that the manual is extremely rare and extremely expensive. So yeah, stuck with an automatic. But let's start this girl up and hear her purr. Here we go. Love that startup sound. Now, look at those dials. Those dials are really cool. And the cool thing about a 5-cylinder is that I'm not sure if it's the same on the V8 one, but at least this one has a tachometer that goes to 8,000 RPM. Very nice. And this one just went over 175,000 miles. This is third hand, which means that the guy that we bought this from bought it from his friend. So yeah, really cool. Speedo. I really like the speedo on this. It goes to 110. This can't even do 90. So yeah, there's that problem. And gas. This does 8 mpg. I'm serious. 8 miles to the gallon out of this Hummer. So yeah, gas is extremely expensive. And to this and to the gearbox, this vehicle is permanent 4-wheel drive. You cannot turn it off no matter what you do, unless somehow you cut off the drive shaft and make it only front-wheel drive, which would be dumb. But I'm not gonna mess with this. It doesn't really like changing. Into diff lock very much. But yeah, so you put it in neutral and then you press the button, and then there's a considerable thunk whenever you put it into diff lock. It's because it's moving more gears into place, and it's doing a whole bunch of witchcraft. I'll close these vents so there's no air blowing on my phone. Now these are the climate controls. These are actually really good, and the air conditioning actually works. It blows ice cold, which is very nice, and I love the sound that these make. I love that sound. It sounds utilitarian and meaty, and I love that. And this is the fan speed dial, and this is the climate dial. I love these dials. They work perfectly. Now, this is not factory. This is aftermarket. I bought it like this. This is just a JCV unit. It's perfectly adequate for my uses. I have the original radio at home. I forgot it. That's my bad. And this is cool because you can go into it. You can press home on it, and you can go to settings, and you can change a bunch of like the stuff. You can go to display, you can go to system, and you can change like the color of this. You can change the background screen and everything. Actually, let me try and find background screen real quick. System, let me English. Yeah, there's just a bunch of random stuff that you can do in here, and then you have apps, which is not wanting to work for me. Come on, go to apps. All right, whatever, it's not deciding to work, but I have Bluetooth connected. I listen to songs on it all the time, and the clock is accurate. Yeah, the clock on it's accurate, which is pretty nice. And oh yeah, and these on this is the bare bones model, so these don't work. These are just blank switches. But on the higher trim model, these would control the parking lights, which this doesn't have. So these buttons are useless. And this is for the rear wiper. Now, like I said, 4-speed auto. I might change this sometime in the future whenever I have money. I might manual swap it, but for now, good old auto. It doesn't change very quickly. It's sluggish, of course. It's a big vehicle, and sometimes it likes to over rev before it shifts, but it works perfectly fine. It's just kind of slow sometimes, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's perfect. Now, so the owner's manual. This is the, I'm not sure if this booklet is original, but this is the owner's manual for a Hummer H3. Now you get these really cool little brochures with the H3T on it, the sickest vehicle in existence, in my opinion, and also extremely rare. I've never seen one of those before. Yeah, and this has like all the options and stuff that you can get, like a sunroof and like the parking lights and just GM Link you can get. This does have cruise control in it. Actually, it's on the end of the stock right there, and has convenience rear seats. It has exterior lamps, and yeah, this one does not have OnStar in it, which is kind of unsettling. And then you have a warranty guide right there. Definitely expired. Oh, I dropped the booklet. Let me see if there's anything else in here before I, nope. And this is the actual owner's manual for the Hummer, which is pretty cool. It just has, you know, normal driver stuff. It has all the things that are in it. On this one, that's what the original radio looks like. It's pretty cool. And that's the steering wheel from a fancy version. I don't have that because this is not a fancy version. And then it just tells you about parking lamps, headlamps, about what these do, about what that stuff is, and all that. About what all that is. Yeah, so just your normal driver's manual. It's not like a Japanese car. There's not any broken English in it. It's perfectly adequate. It tells you the information that you need. It tells you the information that you need perfectly. It's perfectly adequate and perfectly okay. And gonna put it back into this drawer right here. Oh yeah, in here there's more stuff. There's CDs, there's some just paper, some napkins, my warranty stuff, and then 2 cup holders, DC covers, of course, not original, camo. Love these. I forgot what company makes these. I'll edit, whenever I edit the video, I'll put the name of the company in there. And oh yeah, these vents are broken. You can't adjust them. Don't know how to fix that. You'd have to buy an entire another unit, and I'm not paying $1,000 for another unit. Nope, not doing it. So now let's go to the engine compartment. Let's go out here. Leave the door open. Now, this is just a, like I said, this is a 3.7 liter, 230 horsepower, inline 5-cylinder. I said 260 earlier. I think it's one of those two numbers, but it runs perfectly fine. But everything, a lot of the stuff in here is replaced, like the spark plugs, throttle body, the harmonic balancer, a lot of the belts and stuff, some of the coolant stuff, the power steering pump. But otherwise, it runs perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it is quite rough. That's just the nature of a 5-cylinder, to be honest. There's nothing that you can do about it. 5 cylinders are naturally unbalanced. But this is an extremely torquey engine. This is slow, but it's not slow. This engine gets this thing moving. Like 0 to 60 around 8 seconds, which is impressive for a 4-ton vehicle, almost 4-ton vehicle. But yeah, it's very dirty. I haven't cleaned it. Yeah, there's that. Close that. Love that sound that makes. Going back into the car. Let's rev it a little bit because it's all warmed up. Definitely sounds like a 5-cylinder. I wish it was a V8 still, but I still love this thing. Oh yeah, and that's the back seats back there. Surprisingly, this thing's actually pretty hard to this thing's actually pretty hard to get into. And I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this, but the suspension is all changed components. We changed the shocks, we changed the steering arms, we changed a bunch of other things on the suspension, just like we changed on the engine. Yeah, this wasn't in very good condition whenever we bought it, but we didn't see that whenever we did buy it, and then we took it for an inspection, and then they said, oh yeah, if you want to get this inspected properly, you need to change the parts on it. So yeah, so we had to change a lot of the parts on this, but honestly, if you're able to find one of these for a good price, do it. These things are amazing. If you want a fun toy, do it. If you want something that's reliable, not necessarily. If you want something that gets good gas mileage, definitely not. Definitely do not buy this if you're one of those people who want to save the planet and everything like that. So now more controls on the interior. This is light controls. Not gonna mess with that. Don't wanna mess anything up. For the driver's controls, front windows, back windows, lock and unlock, child lock, which I haven't used because I don't have kids. And then this is the mirror adjustment. You just do that, and then your mirror is adjusted. Oh yeah, the horn. Nothing much, just your normal horn. And then yeah, traction control, airbag. There's the airbag right there. And that's all I have to say about this thing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Not going to ask you to like and subscribe because that is bad, because plugging is shameful and you should not do it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention cool H3 logo in the middle of the steering wheel, which is falling apart. Oh man, that kind of sucks. But yeah, this was my lovely 2009 Hummer H3. And remember, if you want to buy Hummer, buy the 09s because they're the best year. The 2006 through 2008 have really bad problems that you really don't want to deal with. So buy the 2009 if you can find one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see all of you guys later.